Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Toronto pumps the Yanks again in the first playoff win in Seattle in about 25 years. Let's talk ball. You savage.
Jorge Polanco still gets some.
Oh, might be right. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jake Storielli. That is Trevor Plouffe. Trev, I'll kick to you. Obviously, I'm down about the Yanks because it went about as poorly as it could go in Toronto for 48 hours. Your fingerprints are all over this Seattle victory. How you doing, Big Sauce?
I'm doing okay. I told you I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm obviously going to play. I'm playing through it, Jake, because that's what I do. And especially during the playoffs, you think I'm going to miss something? Absolutely not. Tough one for you. I actually feel for Yankee fans right now. I do. It's been two non-competitive baseball games at the biggest moment against a team that I feel like you guys have tried to little brother this entire year. Like, at least online, that's what I saw, and it's just turned the exact opposite. We'll get into that one. Two great games so far up in Seattle that we'll talk about. But, yeah, I mean, just when you think you got a finger on, like, what's going to happen in the postseason, like, shit is always just different. It really is. And that's the beauty of it, Jake. That's the beauty of life. You know, there's twists and turns. It's free will. We are in a simulation that we think we are, at least. But there's free will.
Heavy. Yeah, I mean, hey, careful with that shit, man. You're talking to a Yankees fan that was trapped on a train car in the heat for about 2 hours today. And that's outside of the 2-hour train ride it already was. So yeah, I'm in it. And hey, Blue Jays, Yankees, Yankees don't treat Blue Jays fans as little brother. They just hate us. And they should in previous years, and now they are opening up a can. That first time, quote unquote, little brother has really brought the fight, and they are pumping us. Unfortunately, we are going to save that for the second one because it was just a pumping, and I'll tell you how good you Savage was, and how sick Vladdy's homer was, and how much they've dominated. But we had something special happen in Seattle. And just a reminder, SeatGeek is bringing you guys this playoffs. And if you use code JMPlayoffs, you'll get 10% off your playoff tickets. And our special playoff editions of Talkin' Baseball are presented by T-Mobile. So whether you stream the game, check stats on the road, or experience ballpark perks with Magenta status, you're ready to stay connected wherever your fandom takes you with T-Mobile. Head on over to T-Mobile.com/network. Let's do it. La Piedra. Luis Castillo would hope to prevent Seattle from rock bottom as they'd have to go Skubal diving against Tarik to not lose the first two games of the series. Scoreless until bottom four. Marco Polo. Polanco goes yard call off Scoobs. It's 1-0 Mariners. It'd stay that way into the seventh. Twin homers for Twins legend Jorge Polanco. It's 2-0 Mariners. Top 8 Seattle. They get nailed by Josh's defense, and they're torqued up in Detroit again as it's a tied game after Spencer's 2-run double. But bottom 8, Seattle's strength up the middle. Cal rallies them with a double, and Julio brings him in with one of his own. Senor, smoke him if you got him, and blaze it, baby, because Seattle has won their first playoff game in 25 years. Mariners even up the series at 1 game apiece. I gave away the standings.
Yeah, you did. Both teams in the standings, 1-1. A beautiful series, man. A beautiful burn by you. You mentioned my fingerprints all over. If you don't know, me and Jorge Polanco, former teammates. I brought him to, where were we, man? We were somewhere on the road. I brought him into, I believe it was a Saks. I bought him a couple suits. That's what we used to do back in the day because we were gentlemen. Now it's just a bunch of hoodlums in in hoodies and sweatpants on the airplanes. But man, what a series this has been. And there was he took some really good changeups, and it was interesting, man, because the Mariners were laying off Scoob's changeup. The effectiveness wasn't there like we usually see out of that. Jorge gets that count to 2-0 right there, and you're geared up for a heater. But because his slider's also 90 miles an hour, 97 heater, 90 miles an hour, the slider, and this thing was just center cut, basically no vertical drop whatsoever. I mean, that thing was a cookie, and Polo didn't miss it. But that was just the start in this game, Jake.
It was all they got off Skubal. Jorge Polanco, that's a name that's going to be remembered in Seattle for a long time, and good for him. I mean, going back to this offseason, I remember him coming off a weird year in Seattle, and when he re-signed, it was kind of like, okay, I didn't know that this was a happy marriage, but now look where we are today. That 2 homers off Skubal. I don't think anyone's done that since Goldschmidt in 21. I feel like I heard that on the broadcast. Yes, 2021. Okay, nice. And then the fourth, this is where postseason history blows my mind. Polanco is the 4th Mariners player with a multi-homer postseason game. It's Ken Griffey Jr., it's Edgar Martinez, and it's Jay Buhner. So that's insane. Polanco will be remembered by a bunch of Seattle youth that's been deprived of baseball for years.
Absolutely. The second homer that he hit off Scoobs was a 3-2 heater. And I think when you get to that count, he's like, well, we've been laying off the changeup. I hit his slider out for a home already. He's probably going heater, and just got another mistake pitch by Scoob. It was a challenge pitch, I guess you could call it, but did a really good job there. But then those kiddies had some fight in them, and that was a really cool inning to see there. Brash on the mound, and Torque comes up huge, gets a fastball, which is obviously Brash doesn't. He's like 60% sliders, and it's a nasty one. But he's able to like shoot it down. AJ Przinsky called it on the broadcast. He's like, look, this guy's on the slider. That's why he's late on that fastball. But it's also why he kept his hands inside of it enough to get the barrel there and kind of like swib it down the line. It got stuck up underneath the right field wall, the little pocket there on the bottom, which allowed everybody to score. And at that point, I was like, oh no, this isn't going to happen again, is it? Because look, I mean, the Tigers offense, there's some guys they can get you, but to be successful, they have to get like the big hit at the right time. And if they like go on runs with that, that's kind of that's how they've gotten their victories. And I was like, is this going to happen again? But immediately following that up, Seattle Stars answered the call, man. That was the thing. You got to have your dudes be dudes. And in the bottom of the 8th, after surrendering the lead, you go out there and put one up. Which is a beautiful thing. Cal with a great swing, and then Julio jumping on the first pitch. I believe that was an off-speed pitch.
Splitter.
And he goes and does it, man. It was a thing of beauty because Seattle, when we went there for the All-Star game, we watched the Home Run Derby, and I thought it was one of the cooler moments I've experienced at one of those events is when they were chanting Julio, and the place was loud. But, it's the Home Run Derby. It's the All-Star game. It doesn't mean much at that point. It was cool. But before he hit that, the whole place going off, chanting his name, and to come through there, I mean, you can see how fired up he is. There's also a butt right on the screen right now.
Crazy.
What's up with that camera work?
They thought they nailed it, and it was straight into butt.
The producer's probably like, fuck.
Stay on him, stay on him, stay on him. Oh, God damn it.
Here it comes again. Watch, here it is. We're going to get the reaction. It's going to be great. Yeah, big one. But
stay on him. Oh, dump butt.
It is very Seattle right there, right?
That's Seattle, baby. Man, okay. There's still layers to unpack with
this.
There is
so much. I know it's hard to. I don't even know how to like approach games like this, man. I know. Want to talk about Brash and the pitch he threw to Kerry Carpenter?
I know. Kerry got one slider that stayed up a little bit. And you mentioned Kyle Finnegan there. The splitter, which is feeling like the pitch of the postseason so far. Hinch says before the game he'd like to stay away from Finnegan if he could, and it's like, well, I don't. Should we even be saying that? Because that feels worse after what happened today, and he leaves 2 splitters up to Cal and Julio, and that ends up being the difference in that inning. Credit to Senor Smoke, coming off a 2-inning outing, which he'd only done 3 or 4 times this year, and he looked nasty. Embarrassed the Tigers' bottom of the lineup a little bit, and you couldn't let Glaber or especially Kerry Bonds get another look at it. Because, Kerry Carpenter's obviously the bad man, and you're right, a couple of those Matt Brash sliders.
Well, he was on them. So I thought Kerry was going to get him right there. He threw him during that at bat right before the Tigers scored. He threw him a slider that he missed, was a hanger. Then he went changeup, which I thought was a great pitch, but Kerry was on that as well. But he ends up striking him out on like the nastiest backdoor backup slider. It wasn't on purpose. I think Cal was set up inside. But as Wainwright said on the broadcast, these guys did a good job tonight. It was a ball the entire way. And you just saw a few other pitches go that way and stay out there. This one starts out, nips the strike zone just as it crosses the plate. Great pitch by Brash. I mean, dude, I'm so happy that the Mariners won that game. The Tigers didn't deserve to win it, man. They got 3 hits. They got 3 hits. Okay, were they timely? Did Skubal settle down and go 7 and give him that? Sure. But 3 hits shouldn't win you a baseball game. They shouldn't, man. And if you would have told me, Jake, you got your crystal ball out and you said, oh, hey, Luis Castillo's going to go 4 2/3 and they're going to have to use 5 pitchers again tonight, I would have said they're going to lose that game. But credit to them, they got the dub.
I get that thought process, and they said that on the broadcast a little bit, but that was actually one of the decisions that got made in this game that was different. Dan Wilson, instead of staying with Luis Castillo, he goes to Spire out of the bullpen.
Yeah, because we were talking crap about him on our show yesterday. And Kerry Carpenter.
Thank you for listening, Dan. We appreciate you. They shoot the bullpen earlier. It pays off. Spire looks disgusting, and Kerry Carpenter has, pretty significant splits that, the Tigers are only going to have so many opportunities, which that just feels so obnoxious to say, because isn't that like, that's short form for saying it's not a good lineup. Like,
it's not their calling card, Jake.
I know.
So I don't think we hammered that point home enough yesterday with the lack of the move and why he made the move this time around. Kerry Carpenter, they're extremely drastic splits. He rarely faces lefties during the year. 638 OPS and only 60 at bats against lefties this year, as opposed to an 812 OPS and 373 at bats versus righties. So he just doesn't see him that often, and when he does, he hasn't been very good. That's why we were shocked it didn't happen last night. Pretty standard. We figured it would happen with Spires bringing him in at this point. So Wilson, look, that was his first playoff game managed last night. Made a mistake, corrected it. I think you got to give him a pat on the back.
He made the adjustment. That's what this game's always been about, Trev. You know that. And then, I just a note on that Torkelson double that does tie it up. It's something that I feel there's going to be another step to between pitching and defensive shifts that, there's something to at Brash didn't want to keep showing him the slider, but also look where Josh Naylor was standing on that right side of the infield. It was only him over there. That makes me question the pitch even more because you're not aligned to do that. And in baseball, like a football coverage, you kind of can't reveal fully what you're doing. Like, I don't know. It's just an interesting part of the game that I feel like the athletes and the nerds haven't fully aligned on yet.
Oh, I don't know. I'll disagree a little bit there because Brash doesn't really have pitches that Torkelson should be hitting down the line. Like that sinker, you should be rolling that over to the left side of the infield. That's why they have guys moved over there. The slider as well, maybe a punch one that way, but to inside out a sinker like that, that's kind of like an anomaly. That's unless you're your guy, the captain, Derek Jeter, and there's guys that do that. It's not typical for Torkelson, but it looks bad when you're shifting and the shift gets beat. It's like the worst looking thing in sports.
And I get to play the result there a little bit. Huge for Seattle. I genuinely, when you say the year 2001 and think about what you were doing, like it's crazy. They have not won a playoff baseball game in that time period. And I don't know. It's playoff season where we're separating the best of the best teams, and I just want to go back to Luis Castillo. Like, Mariners fans were pretty bummed that Brian Wu wasn't going to be a part of this series, and I get it. The quality start streak and all that. Like, Luis Castillo is still this guy. He finished his season with 4 starts, 25 innings to a 1.07 ERA. The guy has a nails postseason record. That he came into today 3 starts with a 1.83 ERA. And again, like look at what different teams are having to tap into, whether that's lineup wise or pitching wise via injury. And here the Mariners go to this guy who, coming into any season, he could be the best Mariners pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, they worked him in the first inning through 25 pitches in the first. That was, I'm sure at that point, that's when Wilson's head starts spinning with, okay, what moves am I going to make? And I'm probably going to have to make them sooner than later. Right? That's what starts that thought process off. But again, I'm very happy for Seattle. I've been there a ton calling games. We've done the All-Star game. It's always a great place to watch a baseball game. I like the city. There's been some interesting developments, I would feel like, downtown, but still just awesome. They deserved this one, man. Like, they needed to see their team win a postseason game in front of them, and the big boys stepped up. And I love that it was Julio. I love that it was Cal. That to me. And then, Josh Naylor, he makes the error, and then they come back and they pick up their teammate. He's expecting a baby. He's not thinking about anything right now. He's trying to get through this. But it was just awesome. For the city of Seattle, great job.
He's Naylor's thinking about his outfits a little bit.
I didn't see it. He had a good one pregame?
He had a belt. He had like a cheetah belt in this game, and he had like purple diamond shoes last game.
Oh, I saw the purple diamond shoes. I guess I didn't notice I had a leopard skin belt when I was in high school. That was a thing.
Whoa.
Not real.
Let's unpack that. Not real. That's good.
I was a punk rocker.
Skubal, I think we all know who that guy is, but 43 strikeouts in his first 5 career postseason games. That ties him for second most in MLB history. He's tied with Mike Mussina. Number 1 is Bob Gibson. So, yeah, Skubal's in some rare air.
Yeah, and the 2 homers, they kind of like take away from a great outing. 7 innings pitched, 2 runs. That's beyond a quality start right there. He gave the Tigers every single chance, but like I mentioned, 3 hits.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the at bats. That bottom of the lineup outside of Javi, some of those stats are looking really rough. Let's see, Gino having a tough postseason so far. Naylor, Randy with some of the biggest swings you'll ever see on a baseball field.
I was watching Gino after Polo hit those 2 homers. Scoobs gets mad and just strips him down. Like, that's tough. Tough to have Skubal mad. I believe after the second one it was a 1-2-3. Like, oh, all right, whatever.
Next game, off day tomorrow. Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty. So, like I said, how I thought game 1 might have been the most important one for the Mariners. They flipped the script, and now, Skubal at T-Mobile on a potential game 5 also doesn't seem as daunting. And Logan Gilbert, it feels like you might have the pitching advantage in game 3. So they have now, in this 5-game set, reflipped this series on its head.
All they got to do is win 1 in Detroit to bring it back home. Yeah. Do you want to face Skubal again? No, but now it's been 3 times this year that he started against you. And, damn the numbers. You won the game.
Yeah.
So I'm into it, man. This is going to be a great series.
That J.P. Crawford drag bunt, though.
I didn't know he has played the most games as a shortstop in Mariners history. That's pretty awesome, man.
Pretty crazy. Him and
pretty
Rod,
cool.
right?
And a good dude cooks a tri-tip. I cooked the tri-tip yesterday.
We always go there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some Yankees Blue Jays, folks. The Yankees would hope to not go down 2-0 with their gladiator Maximus Fried on the mound, while the BJs would hope to suck the life out of the Yankees. Savages in the box? How about you Savage on the mound? Trey was unhittable. 5.1, 0 hits, 1 walk, 11 Ks, but could he get support from his offense? Toronto can only hang 12 on him in the first 5 innings. My goodness, Ernie hits a Clement mixer. Welcome to the VAR show. Trey was great. Vladdy hit 1 for 4. 12-0 Jays in the 5th, so they played the rest of the 9 innings anyways. But Toronto wins game 1, 13-7 final.
Before I do the standings, I just want to do one thing. I'm gonna do this for you and all your Yankees fans. The prayer candle.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you know what? You endured a lot today.
Thank you.
Tough train. You've been streaming. I think you guys really need this. So this is for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Standings. Toronto 2-0. Yankees 0-2. I don't know where to start here, Coach. I know it's not a fun thing for you to talk about, but there's a lot of Blue Jays fans that I think tune into our show. They talk a lot of crap to me, but now that I'm one of them, we're
right.
in. A 12 spot, Clement, Varsho, Vladdy with a 90-second home run trot, maybe more. I don't know. It was awesome. He deserved every second of it. I mean, we're seeing now. We talked about, damn this game, dude. It was a bloodbath again. It's the second time I've used that word to describe a game with the Yankees and the Blue Jays up in Toronto. A bloodbath. Canada is beating the Yankees. Think about that. Not the Yankees, the baseball team, but the Yankees like America.
Right.
Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. I had something to say and I totally lost it.
It's all right. That was a passionate and patriotic speech. I think we've gone too far with
shh.
Please.
We talked about how this is a complete roster. They can play defense. They can hit. They get starting pitching. Kind of figure the bullpen out. They really haven't had to do that in this series yet. So it's funny to me because we talk about, this is probably a better overall roster, the Blue Jays, but I get fixated on the Yankees a lot. There's some big names there. There's some real talent with the Yankees, but there are some deficiencies, on the roster as a baseball team. And so should we be surprised that Toronto's up 2-0? Should we be surprised? The way they've done it, yes, I think we should be surprised because they put a waxing on them. But overall, I think Toronto's showing why they are who they are, why they won the season series, why they got the advantage, why they got the bye. So I don't know, man. As much as I want to say, hey, the Yankees are screwing this up and Toronto's just had a couple of really good games, I think overall they're a better baseball team.
They play a much better brand of baseball.
That's what I'm trying to say, Jake.
There's no doubt about that.
When Vladdy's hot and can hit homers, that changes everything.
My tagline that I'm gonna probably have to hide behind the next couple weeks was, if your team is not in these playoffs, you should be rooting for Toronto and Milwaukee, because they both play beautiful brands of baseball where every at bat is tough. Everyone plays defense. And yeah, you're right. Now that the postseason juice is here and Vladdy's got kind of his power swing and Kirk has his power swing, that's the one thing you would be saying is missing from these two teams. And it was not. There was basically 2 games, and there were 2 games, but there was a 10-1 game and then there was a 12-0 game. The Yankees scoring those 7 late, those are off Blue Jays relievers who aren't going to be in moments that matter the rest of the way. So, hey, you could do the old baseball. Hey, maybe that gets them hot. Maybe that sparks something, and maybe it does. But the Blue Jays basically won a 12-0 game in a 10-1 game in the past 2 days, which is as dominant as you can possibly be.
I was sitting around watching this game with a few football buddies of mine. And when Alejandro Kirk come up, they were like, who is that guy? And I said, well, let me tell you the story about him. And let me tell you like his stats and what he does. Right on cue, base hit to right. I'm like, this guy's just a hitter, dude. He's just a hitter. They're a fun team to root for. I went in the Talkin Yanks chat and I said David Popkins for Twins manager next year. Because Twins cannot beat the Yankees. David Popkins found a way to beat the Yankees, and it's just beat them into the ground with offense. He had the biggest smirk I've ever seen of any coach on his face. Yes, of course I would. He got let go. Earmuffs. By the fucking Twins.
Oh.
I'm a Twin. That's my team. TC Bears right there. I got a Joe Ryan one too. I work for him. But they're not in a place to be letting guys like that go. And now he's having extreme success. And he has the roster different, sure. But man, he has to say, that's the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
That's
there he is. There's my freaking guy. You know what? And he was a good dude. And I said it when he got fired. It wasn't his fault. He shouldn't have got fired. It's just the nature of the business. The hitting coaches always get the brunt of it. And man, look at that guy, just living life.
He was having a good time, man, and he should have been. Something interesting just while we're on the lineup, and they said it on the broadcast that I thought was interesting because we get roped into the offseason every year, and when we do team profile and projections, then we start getting loopy and we start saying like, I don't know, teams 5 through 20, if it comes together with the baseball gods, they can have a very nice season. They were talking about Toronto's lineup, and they were like, their big move was bringing in Santander, which, actually kind of backfired. They brought in Jimenez for defense, so in theory, you're going another direction there. They just had a lot of guys step up and get better. We expected that from like Bichette, who did, but he's not playing, which, by the way, think about that. And then, no, man, it's just like Ernie Clement, dog. Varsho, dog. Barger took a leap. Dog took a leap.
That was the biggest one during the regular season was Springer.
Yeah. I mean, he's MVP votes, and it's just not if no one before the season was saying, you know what, I think George Springer gets to MVP form this year. But maybe that's hitting coach, maybe that's health, maybe that's something else. But the Blue Jays are a fantastic team. And Trev, this is before we've gotten to talk about the rookie starting pitcher who went 5.1, 0 hits, 12 strikeouts.
Oh, it was 12? I thought it
Might have been 11.
Oh,
Might have been 11. My bad.
It was 11. It was sticks. 5 1/3, 11 Ks, 1 walk.
Sorry, it was only 11.
I mean, 4th ever big league start, correct?
Yeah.
That's balls of steel. And I had the quote up from him because, he said, I'm built for this. And he says, I was sitting there thinking about the comment I made the other day where I said, I'm built for this. And I was like, well, I better back that up.
Yeah.
You're in the moment and you're like, yeah, I'm built for this. And then afterwards, like, oh shit, like it's social media. That's going to be everywhere. I better pitch well. And to go out there and do it in front of that crowd who's just thirsty, man. Like, I don't know. I haven't been up there with you, but I've obviously played there. It's one of the more fun places to play in baseball. When the crowd is rowdy, it is just, it's awesome.
I mean, again, sports has a weird thing of connecting with us, and that's why you're probably listening to this, and we thank you, and it's why I'm sports obsessed. But like, man, those Toronto games the past 2 days, I talked about the memory Jorge Polanco created for people. Those 2 4 p.m. games, beautiful weather in October in Toronto, roof open in the Rogers Center, and they just pump the Yankees to double-digit leads. When, like, we were wondering about the pitching decisions, like, oh, no Bassett, no Scherzer. Judge has good career numbers versus Gossman. they just dominated the Yankees the past couple days, and the Popkins hitting side of it that I got to the live stream late today because I was trapped in basically a mobile microwave that wasn't mobile anymore. Was Jimmy, who's he's got a pretty good pulse on this. He thinks that Toronto had something on Max, probably not a full tip, but something. Because I don't know, he really didn't have anything for them, and at the same time, the debate there is, I don't know, it's also strength versus strength. I think that's how your guy Smoltzy said it on the broadcast. He's like, Max Fried's intention is to just get you out, weak contact, all that. The Blue Jays are contacting, going to put it in play that it's, in the first inning when you get the Alejandro Kirk double play, you're like, ooh, maybe that's where Max can neutralize these guys. Then they just started hitting frozen ropes that he wasn't long for this one.
I honestly, I prior to this year, I would have said, man, like we got to stop thinking everybody has something on somebody else.
Right.
But I've now, when I've talked to people around the league, it is rampant. It is rampant, and there is a hilarious Yankees side to this about a guy that they have in their organization that helps them. I don't know, like maybe we'll get to it in the off season because it's a funny story, and just like I've said this a million times. I'm not a million times, probably twice. That's a long way from a million. It's fine. Buy Bitcoin, $2. Maybe you never know. Yeah. If you're gonna spend, I don't know, even a rookie contract, $745,000, whatever the heck it is. If you could give 5 guys $150,000 a piece and say, for the year, your only job is to sit on this computer and tell us what pitch is coming. Go find it. Why doesn't every organization do that? They kind of do.
They kind of do.
Maybe not 5 guys. And damn if I haven't heard this yet, but I've been talking about a software program for a couple of years now. I'm assuming everybody does that as well. So yes, it probably is at this point where we're looking and finding things more often than not.
Right.
Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Seattle had something on Scoob's changeup, or maybe Jorge just saw it better because he had some really good takes. I'm just saying, like, I would have shot that down in a heartbeat and said, dude, like, it doesn't happen all the time. It's happening so much more frequently now. So guys got to be careful. They all got to wear those like gloves with no webbing. And I don't know what you do, man.
I hate those.
Do you start doing the Dempster? Is everyone going to start Dempstering, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I don't know.
I do. I know that the Yankees are down 2-0. The games went as bad as they possibly could. The spin zones from Yankee Land are, you haven't used literally any of your good bullpen, so they will be overly rested.
Yeah,
Toronto,
no shit.
Right? Toronto, I believe, is supposed to be bullpen game day 4. They don't have a 4th starter. So if you're the Yankees, you've made the task as impossible as you can. You have to win game 3. Analytics Jake kicking in there. Throw me that $150K, pal. You got to win that game 3. But all of this playoff stuff we talk about, if the Yankees go up 4-1 in that game and the Blue Jays have a bullpen day the next day, they're probably not going to empty the chamber with their top bullpen guy. So, like, you need to create the ripple effect. And in game 4, it would be Cam Schlittler that the last time we saw him, he had the historic rookie performance. So all of that is being said, that's trying to get any hope for the Yankees offense, which has been horrific the entire postseason.
Do you, like, the game, we're done talking about the game. Bieber versus Rodon, that's going to be great. I think it's a fun pitching matchup for sure. Like the move to get Bieber for the Blue Jays, I kind of was like, what the heck? What are we doing here? Like, he's got a player option, I believe it is, next year. Coming off of a big time arm surgery. Like, what are we doing here? But it's worked out for them. So good job. The Judge postseason thing, that's obviously a huge narrative. It gets talked about a lot. Last night, struck out in a big situation, but he's been hitting well. 444 average throughout this postseason. Has this done anything? I know that the Yankees haven't, put themselves in a great position, but has the Judge answered the bell?
No.
Okay.
He had one at bat that really mattered, and he didn't come through in that at bat.
Yeah.
So hey, like, he's not the problem. I'm not saying that, but that Gossman at bat is currently haunting the team. And hey man, it's lame New York stuff, but it's secretly every team stuff. Like, what do you do when it matters? And these 2 games have been blowouts. So like, unfortunately, that's not Judge's fault, but I can't really throw that into the mix when I've seen one at bat that was critical and you looked unjudged like. Even that ball that rolls past him in the corner today, it's just a little off, and he's dealing with the throwing arm thing that I don't know how much that's involved, but it's his numbers are crazy. He is not the problem, but he hasn't changed his own narrative.
0 for 7, 4 Ks against Shane Bieber.
Do you believe in do?
In my mind, I was like, dude, Judge for sure rakes Shane Bieber.
It's a funny game. I think he got Bieber in a postseason start.
I'm just on rotowire.com Judge versus pitchers. I Googled.
Let me see if I'm like that, because I said that earlier.
Little Guardians Yanks postseason series.
Guardians Yanks 2020. So was the world real? But let's see. Yanks win 12-3 final. Cole versus Bieber. What a game it was. Judge off Bieber first inning. So
he's got that in the back pocket.
Whoops. Eat it, doll.
You're different. You and Savage built for this.
Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, I to the beautiful people of Toronto, that I'm saying that for both sides. The ones that are actually those awesome, true Canadians that we all know and like dream about. Like, everyone wants a cool Canadian friend. Like, just kind of the happy-go-lucky, like never has a bad day type Canadian. You're like, I want that in my friend group.
Oh, that's Minnesota. That's who you're thinking of.
Right. I mean, they're cousins up there. There's a lot of Toronto fans that have a lot of venom, and hey, fan how you want to fan. There's lines for everything, but whatever. There's a chance this could be the complete dunk. Like, if they come out and chop the Yankees down early with that pestilent Blue Jays baseball, it could get ugly real quick. And imagine all those Yankees combos. What if they put up another game like this, Trev? What if we get another 10? Can you imagine?
My guy Nick Turturro, I don't know what will happen to him. Jimmy will be going to a dark place. You'll be fine because you'll have to be, because we're gonna have to keep doing the show.
Yeah, I'll be
You'll be
inside,
dead inside, but you'll be dead outside.
And yeah,
I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen.
It's in a weird way with baseball. The Yankees' worst thing and best thing going for them is that it went as badly as possible. And it's just baseball, and sometimes you can flip the script, but they have to completely flip it. Like, there's so many guys in their lineup that just look brutal right now. And yeah, Rodon's going to have to give a memorable performance, and so will Devin Williams, who was, the ire of Yankee fans all year. Bednar, who's been great, but these Blue Jays, they are so tough.
Is there going to be just the shortest leash possible with Rodon, or like, is that even what you want as a Yankee fan? Because I don't think there's a super deep aspect to the bullpen, especially across multiple innings. So I don't think that's what you can look at.
Yes.
Will
'cause
Warren ate it today, so that helps.
Yes, it's an elimination game, but the Yankees have 2 guys they like and 2 guys they think they like right now in their bullpen. The 2 guys they like are Bednar and Williams. The 2 guys they think they like are Tim Hill and Camilo Doval.
Okay.
That, I don't know, man. Those are 4 guys. Like, how many innings should you really be asking from them? So they need to start from Rodon. Like, worst case, a 2-time through. And if that's the conversation, you might already be, I was going to say shit down the river. Is that a phrase?
No. I think it's like that? Up a creek with no paddle. That doesn't sound right either. Up shit creek without a paddle.
Schlit. We're saying schlit for all the kids listening.
Shout out Ernie Clement. Shout out Dalton Varsho. Vladdy gets the freaking 2-1 pitch. I mean, 96, but 96 is average now. Inner third. Like, he freaking, I mean, that was a bomb. And you know what? Maybe he heard you guys saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have fist pumped on a sac fly."
Well, that's because that's why. Like, I would have liked the fist pump more on that. They can do whatever the hell they want. And they are. So, yeah, it should be a rowdy Tuesday night in the Bronx, either direction.
Yeah, there could be boos quick. If the Blue Jays come out in the first inning and score a run, it is going to be the Boo Birds like you never heard before.
That's where I'm almost, starting pitchers, sometimes they like to save a pitch for the first time through or whatever. If you're Rodon, that first inning, that's like you have to treat that like you're closing the game, right?
You got to get the crowd on your side.
Interesting. Blood in the water. The Yankees normally do bad when there's blood in the water. Toronto, Shane Bieber. Wow. Let's see, Trev. You got anything else?
Love you, Pop. 2 good games tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dodgers, Phils, Brewers, Cubs. You'll be live streaming. I think everyone recognizes how hard you're working during the playoffs, so snaps for you. I'm giving it my best as well, people. Thank you for following along. That's all I got.
A final stat, because you mentioned us working and Dalton, Rob, John, Joe's, everyone. Here's a stat: the Blue Jays have more homers than strikeouts this series, 8-7.
Is this significant of anything?
Thank you guys for watching or listening or however you consume Talkin' Baseball. Yeah, I think we're going to be live streaming Phillies Dodgers tomorrow night. And if there's baseball, we're going to talk about it. That'd be my tagline. And if there's baseball, we're going to talk about it.
Do what you do with the do.
I like that. Like, why isn't that their campaign?
I don't know.